Hello again, it's Randy, your Saw Machine Man, and what we have here is a KENMORE Ultra Stitch 12, which is a 158 series, and the numbers after the decimal point are 1561281, and all the numbers after the decimal point, of course, it's 158 series, and all the different numbers tell you all the different features it has. There's 158 series, and a lot of stuff's going to be familiar, and a lot of the 158 series, a lot of this is going to interchange belts, especially. Because today we're going to be changing belts on this little guy. And of course, the first thing you want to ask yourself, first thing, is does it need belts? If they're just loose, you don't need belts. If you don't see them flying apart, you don't need belts. So you want to inspect the belts first, make sure they're not coming apart. If they are, then you need belts. But if they're not coming apart, people say to me, I think they stretched. That doesn't happen too often. I don't see them stretching. They'll break and they'll fly apart, but a lot of times you can just adjust them, and there's an adjustment on this. Now, let's assume we're going to replace the belts. Of course, first thing we do is take the top off. I have these screws already loosened up here, so we don't have to spend all day watching me loosen screws. I got this one back here just to keep it on the back. So the first thing you do is take the top off. Get all the screws loosened. Take the top off, set it aside. And of course, you're going to take the bottom plate off. Let me knock the camera around. This is going to be odd. I've been putting this off forever. I get a lot of requests for it, but it's going to be a pain because you got to work around the camera. So, inside baseball stuff. Belt's over here. Over here is your belt. Let's bring this down so we can get a good look at it, because you got to be able to see what the heck's going on. You take the bottom off, of course. You got a screw. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And that takes your bottom off. Your bottom is going to be on here, like so. You take your bottom off. 1, 2, 3. Takes the bottom off. Set those screws aside. Don't lose them. And check your belts. You know, turn your hand wheel around, turn your hand wheel, turn the motor, whatever. Check your belts, top and bottom. If you see that they're flying apart, rare, it does happen. If they haven't been stored properly, if the machine's been stored in like a hot area, they will come apart. But if they're not coming apart, here's your adjustment. Now to get to that, there's a screw right here on this little side plate. And I picked this model because this is the toughest one to change. There's a lot of 158 series. This is the one that's hardest, so I thought I'd work with that. Anything else is going to be easier. There's a screw right here that holds this plate on. It comes straight down. It comes off. You set it aside. And of course, the side cover. This is your bolt here for loosening and tightening the motor. It's going to be right here on this bracket. Now you can break that loose with a 12mm wrench, which fits right on there like so. Once you get it broken loose, you can loosen it up considerably with just a regular slotted screwdriver. You want to get it nice and loose and then push it all the way up. Now, if you're adjusting your belts, you want to not pry it, but kind of leverage it down to get them tight. That's how you get your belt tight. So it has like about a, I don't know, 1/4 inch flex. You don't want it real tight, but you can run the motor and you can tell when it's bogging down. If it's real tight like a banjo string, that is not good. You want it to be a little bit loose. You don't want it to slip. I always run it. I grab the hand wheel, make sure it'll take it out of my hand and drive it. Then I know it's not too loose. But if it's too tight, the motor will bog down. The hand wheel will be hard to turn. You want to have some flex in your motor belt. So after you've checked them out, you loosen this up. You slide this guy up. Go up to the top, because this side cover has 2 screws in the top that hold it on. I've already taken them out because I don't think you want to watch me take screws out all day. On the top cover here is a screw here. Of course, there's a screw here. You just loosen those up, take them out completely, set them aside. That's your side cover. It's not going to come off just yet. Now, down here, on this one, it has a stitch length dial on the side. A lot of have those. This needs to come off. Down inside, there are set screws on it. Down inside, I'm going to get my trusty little flashlight. So here's your dial down here. You can see it. You can get it turning there. There it is. Well, it's way down behind. Probably best to see it down through here. You can see down through here that it has 2 set screws. Of course, I've already taken them loose, but I can take them off and show them to you. There's 2 set screws on them. Those have to be loosened. Those can be challenging because you need a long screwdriver. All my screwdrivers I work on the machines with are very long. And that's because a lot of times you have to reach way down in to get these screws. I have the very long Phillips number 2 and the very long standard slotted. That can be a challenge. A long screwdriver. They got them at the hardware store. I don't have these custom made, so you get them. You take this off. You loosen it. Don't take the screws out. Just loosen it. It just slides right off. You may have to turn it back and forth and scooch it out a little bit, but it comes right off. It's not hard to do. There's no flat spots or anything like that on it to worry about. So now you'll take your hand wheel, release clutch off. Loosen your screw. Don't have to take it out. Just loosen it. Of course, we got a video on how to take this apart and put it back together. It's in my video series. You can find it there. You got the disc. You got the washer. You got the clutch knob. Set that aside. Now here's where it gets fun because, oh boy, this guy right here, the shroud, holds this in place, and it's got two little tabs under here that holds it down underneath. Two little spring-loaded pieces of steel, and they don't come out until the belt comes off. What you have to do, you notice inside that the belt, if it isn't broken, is around the pulley. So what you have to do is you have to take it off the pulley. In order to do that, you'd have to take a broad-bladed screwdriver, a wide one, and you have to put it down there, and as you turn the belt, turn the hand wheel rather, towards you, or to the left, like you're an operator, and you take that belt, and it'll slide off of that back pulley. And I say this is difficult because I got to work around this dadgum camera. But you pry against it, and it's like breaking the bead on a tire when you're mounting it. It's kind of a finesse move, and it's not easy, and I'm telling you right now, this is not my favorite thing. But then the side cover comes off, and if you're not terribly careful, your hand wheel will hit the floor. But taking it off, so you have the hand wheel off, you have the belt off, and of course the long belt. There's two belts. The long one goes on the hand wheel. The short one goes on the motor. The motor belt goes on the front pulley of the idler. The short one goes to the motor and the back. So if the back one breaks, you have to replace, well, you have to take them both off. You don't have to necessarily replace it, but they both have to come off to get access to the back. So let's say you've got the back one on, you got the front one on, it slips right off here, slips right back on. That's your short one. The short one is 12 inches, 300 millimeters. That's the length of that when you go to order it on Amazon. It's a 12-incher, 300 millimeters. The upper one, the long one, is 14 1/4. It's 362 millimeters. And you can get those as a set. I just looked them up on Amazon to make sure they're there. You can get them at Amazon. Get them on eBay. Sewing Parts Plus, but everybody has them, very popular. They may not be black, they may be a orange color. They come in different colors, but they can't guarantee the color, they'll just guarantee the length. And try not to get the ones that are real wide. Try to get the ones that are like this width here. I think it's like 7/8, or maybe less, maybe a half. So now, this is the hard part, is getting it back on. You put the bottom belt on, of course, because it's on the back. It has to be on first, slide it down around the pulley down here. That's the easy part. And these two screws right here, don't disturb those, because from the factory those are set perfectly for this right here. If you disturb those, you want to put about in the middle, cock this up, because it slides back and forth this way ever so slightly. So you cock this up, tighten this one down about in the middle, so you have the same amount of gap on either side, and this one is at the bottom. But ideally don't disturb these two screws, and it'll go right back on. Now here's the fun part. You have to put the hand wheel through the side cover, like so. Then you have to put the belt on, like so. Then you have to bring it back. Let's move this back here so we can show you. I bring it back to the edge so it's hanging off the edge. And I make sure this is hanging down, like so. And then I put this belt over the pulley, and I turn the hand wheel, and it slips on, nice and snug. And then I pull back on the hand wheel, spin my cover around, slide over the stud here for the stitch length, put the two tabs underneath, put them in place, push my hand wheel back on, make sure my Two little snaps are in place down there. If they're not, try it again. That happens to the best of us, trust me. You want to have it lined up on the shroud, yeah, to the front there. Line that up. Make sure your hand wheel's on. And then you put your two screws back in the top. Up here, put your two screws back in the top that holds your shroud on. Screw, screw, put those back in. Put your hand wheel clutch back on, you know, and we know that the two prongs are facing out. We know that goes together 4 different ways. We have a video on that already online or on the YouTube channel. You can check that out. And of course, put this guy back on and make sure that your screw lines up between 2 of the tabs. Make sure tab, 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 make sure it's between tabs so you can release it. And of course you put your stitch length back on, and you want to make sure that when you tighten it down that when you turn it to the left, it's at your longest stitch, and when you turn it to the right, it's at 0. So you tighten it down, so all the way down, so when you turn it to the left, you're at your longest stitch. When you turn it to the right, you're at your shortest stitch, and you can set that back down. Put your long screwdriver back down in there. From here, and you tighten it back down. Screw here, put this back on. Then you put your top back on, and then you put your side cover back on for your bolt access down below. And that's pretty much the long and short of it. The main thing is getting this side cover back on. The side cover is the challenge, and trust me, check your belts. If you don't need new belts, don't replace them. Because a lot of people say, oh, these belts are, oh, they're 30 years old. I need to replace them. Nope, you don't. If they're not absolutely disintegrating and flying apart, leave them. Just leave them where they are. Check the tension on them. Make sure that the tension is not real loose. You know, if they're slipping, tighten them up ever so slightly with your bolt underneath there. All you have to do is to tighten the belt. You take your broad blade screwdriver, this guy right here, and you pry that bracket down, and I snug it with this first, and then I double check the tension, make sure it's not real tight, and that's all there is to tightening that belt up. And then you put your side cover back on like that, put your screw in here, put your top on, and you're ready to go again. The idler in there, you might want to put a drop of oil in the idler. I'll show you how to do that in the servicing 3-part series. But all together, it's a chore, but you can do it. And I'm giving you this because you asked for it. So that's how to change the belts on a KENMORE 158 series, upper 12-inch, the lower 14 3/4, 14 1/4. I'm sorry, and that'll take care of that. So. In the comments, if you have a question, if I missed something, throw it in there and I'll try to answer it. Appreciate it. Bye now.